All right, so this is an update on the game I'm building. Not too sure what it's gonna be. I kind of just been focused on the game loop itself. So one of the first things I did is, as you can see, compared to the last one, it looks a lot less like a web page. Um, Let me refresh this. Yeah, I'm still working things out, but so one of the things I've changed from the last one was I had to switch the entire project over to Pixie.js because I sort of realized that using HTML, CSS, um, Codex would have to do a lot of fucking work, like building out the camera system and whatnot, and a lot of this stuff was already, built with Pixie. Yeah, I could use Phaser, but first of all, this is just for me to get my idea out on Flesh. I'm in the process of following this YouTube tutorial, and I'm essentially building my own game engine. But I've been using this more so as training for game development, right? I've been having to consider things I never considered before, like my experience, UX, UI, visuals. So, this is not much, but it was actually pretty challenging to deconstruct and understand why this was gross, right? Like I was telling like the previous UX, I was like, make it better, make it good, and that's not enough, man. Like I'm telling you, like there's pros and benefits to vibe coding stuff. Like using words like good, better, less gross was not working. I actually had to um, figure out like what exactly was bothering me, what exactly was unintuitive. So, anyways, um, I added some noise. I think I'm using Tone.js. The other thing was the camera system is a lot better. This world is procedurally generated. Um, no mouse and keyboard. Oh my bad. No mouse and keyboard. I'm not too sure what to do though because I'm feeling conflicted. I don't know if I'm gonna make it a phone game or a Steam game. I'm heading towards a phone game just because I don't have a PC. PCs are expensive, and all I really have is my phone. And plus, I mean, it makes it a lot easier to share my friends and family. Um, the other thing was I had to. Um, I mean, right now this shit's still pretty trash. But at least it's better though. Like it was so much more worse, the UX UI. Um, I did have to I was working, but I had this idea that I implemented and I didn't get, and so I lost a lot of progress. The UX and like the panels, the GUI was a lot better before, but I mean I'll deal with it another day. The other thing I had to deal with and figure out was the at least attack animation and stuff like that is a lot better now. This is just placeholder, right? Oh, I think it crashed. So yeah, there's a couple things I do have to figure out. I mean, I just some of it. Before, bro, like the game was just constantly crashing because it was constantly re-rendering, even though I wasn't moving. I'm not too sure what the issue is right now. I just know Codex is still working on something because I really had to. I mean, you can see on the bottom, but I had it refactor the code base. It's been working for like 4 hours. I mean, it's slow as shit, but the I had to create a plan to get it to refactor it because it was feeling a little uncanny and weird. So, which is essentially the game was feeling not snappy and fast enough for me. This is satisfying. It feels like popcorn, right? So I had to figure out how do I want the game to feel. And I'm like, bro, I need something like you want to chew on, like popcorn, like a fidget toy, you know. So and the fight, it's just like the terms of like the fighting is a lot better now. There's a little bit of movement. So there's that. Clearly, um I have to get the grass to grow. I don't have like a an RNG system yet. The other thing I did was, sorry, it's lagging, but like I said, it's a work in progress. I have to figure out. It's probably like a rendering issue. No worries. We'll refactor that later. Oh, it crashed. Yeah, it's definitely a rendering issue. But the other thing I added was I wanted trainer battles, so I got it like an MMO. But okay, they're still there because I wasn't sure if they were like despawning. I have to read some books, or like probably read some books on like game AI, because I want the game AI. I'm not, listen. I'm gonna make sure I see. Part of the reason I just started using Codex and using the Codex panel to build these games is because I had a habit, and I've noticed I will constantly overcomplicate stuff and get lost in the sauce and start building horizontal. I'm gonna be purely focused on this gameplay loop. No story, no nothing. The experience of catching, battling has to be, and maybe exploring has to be on point. Um, so one thing about Pokemon that I don't like is the fact that um, essentially the battles are all scripted and they're getting in your way. Um, for me, I kind of want a more maybe like a fake MMO esque. You know what I mean? Like they're doing their thing, they're catching Pokemon or whatever. They might trade with you. Could trade with them. You could battle with them. You could just ask questions. You know what I mean? Like you ask them. Like that's what I'm thinking, right? Like maybe have like a ranking system or whatnot. That's what I'm thinking. Make it more like MMO-ish, because that would make more sense if I wanted to do a creature battling world. But the other thing I've been thinking about doing is I like cultivation novels, and I was thinking about just making everyone make it more like cultivation based. Like it's like they're like you know how there's like in RPGs there's like the animal handler stuff, whatever. I don't know. I was thinking about making a bit more cultivation based. But I would have to see. I have to read up some stories, you know. I have to read some pet cultivation stories where it's kind of like they have a creature and whatnot, and deal with that, because that would make things interesting. In terms of the creatures, though, I mean that would be fun and all, but that shit doesn't matter. This is just some placeholder stuff from, I don't know. I got it from like what was the thing? It was, I don't know, open source free game assets or something. But I'll see. But one of the things I do want to be I do want to move away from. I just haven't figured out how I would do that. Is the concept of levels, man. I want to move beyond the concept of levels, because one of the things that bothered me with games, right, is when you have the concept of levels, there's no reason ever to go back to prior earlier sections of the game. There's zero reason. They're too weak. And so to me, as a game designer, and at least my perspective and philosophy as a game designer is that's kind of troublesome, because it's like all this built is being built to be thrown away and not be reused, to be discarded and never be touched again. I think that's a waste, man. That's like the waste. It's like a waste, just like how you get all these fucking potions and items that you never use, and all you're doing is really just hoarding them. Like for me, I'm waiting a lot of times. I never use my potions and items because I'm waiting for the perfect moment to use them, and then I just end up hoarding them. You know, like I really want to make a game. I would interact, because I'm also making this for myself to entertain myself. But like, so for me, it's like I have to figure out. And this is what I mean. Like, if you spend all your time programming, you don't have time to think like this. I've been trying to figure out how exactly I could move beyond a level system to make earlier levels still viable. But then it's tough because it's about, the other important thing is power, right? Like, how do I not use levels but still make the player feel powerful? But what makes going to earlier levels even more valuable besides hidden areas? You know what I mean? Like and I haven't figured it out yet. Um, but we'll figure that out eventually, though. I ain't stressing. I'd rather just share while I build out my game engine, right? Like, that's the thing I'm doing on the side, is building out a game. And then I said, listen, if I keep building this fucking game engine and stuff like that, I keep fucking around and not building the game, I said, fuck it. I'm going to go build this with Codex. I have the other one, the strategy version, but the strategy was a lot harder for me because I never actually played a strategy, like an RTS RPG. And it makes sense. As I was building, I was like, bro, this shit's not fun to me. Like, what would make this fun? Like, I don't know if it was the game I was building or if it was just a genre I didn't like. So I haven't figured it out. um I could keep an RTS, or I could maybe make it an auto battler. I haven't figured that out yet. But the other issue could just be the UX UI experience is terrible, and that's why it's ass. But I got no idea, man. Like, truth be told, I got zero clue. The AI in this sucks though, but and that's not a priority right now. But we'll figure it out eventually. I was thinking maybe making it like low key, like a offline MMO. That sounds like fun. All right, bye.